Hello everyone, this is Shayna from the Money Soap Company, and I'll be showing you today how I make my soap. This is just going to be a simple lemongrass soap, no colorants or anything like that. I do not add colorants or micas or iron oxides, anything like that to my soaps that have essential oils in them. I just leave them as they are. And this soap, with the lemongrass essential oil being yellow like it is, the soap will turn yellow anyway. And for the sake of time, I have already measured out my oils, which I measure about weight, and my lye water is already mixed up and waiting. For those of you who do not know, lye is used in soap making. That's the only way you can make soap. You cannot make soap without lye. But the finished product does not have lye in it at all. So I'm going to go and get started. I'm going to strain my lye water just in case there are some pieces that are not dissolved. Okay, so I'm just going to burp the stick blender. And I'm just going to add it in and just stir it in at first. And lemongrass is a very strong essential oil, so you don't have to use as much of it as like you would if you use fragrances in your soaps or anything like that. So I don't have to use as much of this. It's a very overpowering scent, but it's also a favorite. I have a lot of customers that love the lemongrass soap lotion, so I make this in everything that I make right now. This is the mold that I'm going to use. Like I said, this is a small batch of soap. I'm not going to use a lot. I'm not going to make a big one. I do make 5 pounds at a time most of the time. But for this one, I just want to do a smaller batch. I made enough to have some left over so I can do some samples as well. I don't want to overfill it because will bow out. So I'm just banging it on the counter just to get the air bubbles out. Can't do it too hard because it will waste out, and I don't want that to happen. That would be a total waste, huh? Okay, so I'm just going to put that to the side because, like I said, I do have extra batter left. And I have this little mold that I use for samples to sometime when the customer orders from out of town, so they're not able to get to my events that I'm having, so they can't actually smell the soaps up close. And so this is just my way of saying thank you. And this right here makes about a bar that's about 2.7 ounces big, which is a decent size. This is my very first video. I'm not really a video type person, so I'm trying it out, see how I like it. If it goes well, then I will make more videos in the future. Just the product demonstrations of maybe some things that I do as well. Maybe even video me when I go to events. I do a lot of events throughout my city because I do not have a storefront, so I will go to different festivals and things of that nature, small business events, just to bring exposure to my company, because I have not been in business that long, and so I'm still just building up my brand. But I do have some wonderful customers who come by and visit. Okay, so I'm just gonna try and get the air bubbles out of this as well. I have about 2 molds like this that I bought just to test out for bath bombs, maybe test out a fragrance to see how the people like it. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go get the alcohol so I can spray the tops. Okay, I sprayed the alcohol on it to try to prevent soap ash. There's nothing wrong with soap ash. It's just basically a visual thing. Although I don't think the customers care at all anyway. As far as my customers go, they really just care about the function of the product. And so sometimes this does prevent soda ash. Sometimes I can spread the tops and still get soda ash. So it all depends. Most of the times I do cover my soaps just to help prevent it as much as possible, because I do like to put pretty designs on the top. This is just one of my plainer soaps that I make. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to move this out of the way just a little bit. I'm just going to use this to support this mold, because it is a silicone mold. It sometimes bow out in the middle, which makes it a little wider, which makes my bars uneven, which I'm not a big fan of, being that I already not that great at cutting the soap. So I do use something to help me cut, and this right here is just make sure that my soaps are able to fit inside. I may even insulate this soap so it can go through gel. I probably will include just a basic recipe, not my recipe, but maybe a basic recipe in the description box in case someone wants to try one. Okay, so I'm back with the cut. I told you I would come back and let you see me cut the soap. I let it sit out a few more days because it was still a little too soft and I didn't want to mess it up. So this is my miter box for my smaller soaps, and this is my little cutter that I use. I know the video showed me doing it plain, but I decided to pipe the top just a little bit. This is soap. This will make about 8 1-inch bars. Sometimes it has a smaller bar that comes. So that's that. Still a soft in the middle, but as it cures, it will harden up to give you a good hard bar soap. I don't have a problem with my soaps being too soft once they cure, which is great. Sometimes this gives me 8 1-inch bars and a smaller, the end bar, which I use as a sample, or to let people be able to smell the soap so they can smell before they buy when I go to my different events. So I've only piped about 2 soaps and I'm really liking it. This one I didn't do anything special, just took the batter, no color added, and piped it. This helps me to cut the bars not perfectly even, but better than it would be if I had to cut them by freestyle, which most likely would be very crooked because I'm not that good at cutting at all. These will be some decent sized bars, and they will be ready in about, I let them cure at least 4 weeks. It makes for a milder bar, although the soaps are able to be used after a few days. Have to let the water evaporate, and it just makes for a harder bar. And so that's the cut. Like I said, I get 8 bars, so put this up there. As you can see, it gives me about 8 bars, like I said. And the end piece, which is always a lot smaller than the rest of my bars, are usually about 4.5 to 4.8 ounces. Now some of them are as big as 5 ounces, and so I will put these on the rack and let them cure, and they will be ready in about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how fast the water evaporates out of them. Thank you for tuning in. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I will be giving out more videos.